Time to get the pedal to the metal, and Gardner gets off sideways in company with Scaife, who immediately moves across, and Gardner says, okay, down the outside. It worked last time. Let's see if it'll work this time. Down on the inside, Mark Scaife, and very, very brave under brakes is Wayne Gardner. He'll dab here. Alan Jones gets up on the inside. He's running in third. Thomas Mazera is fourth, and on the inside of him, John Bower. Dick Johnson further back in the pack. As we look now from the sweeper, and sitting there in the draft is Wayne Gardner as they come down the back straight for the first time. There's the race. Mark Scaife, the Winfield Commodore, right behind him, Wayne Gardner. Then Alan Jones follows by Thomas Mazera. Nothing in this one.
Nice clean start, almost an equal start from Scaife and Gardner. Scaife took it into the inside line and has held that position. We thought with the speed that Gardner showed in the Peter Jackson Dash this morning, he was going to walk this opening race, but no, Scaife seems to have him under control at the moment.
And now that long shot down the straightaway here to the left-hander at Bramble's hairpin.
They've got to be careful here. They can't afford to lock up brakes. We saw what happened to Larry Perkins yesterday with a brake lock up, go down to the canvas, blow your tire, and land up in the Simmons Plains outfield.
Talking about that, Peter Brock, he's had a little tap from behind by the look of it.
There she goes.
It's out of harm's way. A touch of Bridgestone, a little bit of blue, red and white. I'll tell you what, AJ won't take up with too much of this running left to right across your screen.
Well, he said after the dash that he was very confident in the pace of the Falcon in the back straight. I know Glenn commented in qualifying that he thought the Falcon, because it's got so much downforce, it probably had a bit more drag than the Commodores. But Jonesy was very confident in the amount of power Bo Seaton's getting from these Ford V8s.
He's also very determined to
Look
want
at
to
this.
win.
Look.
Oh, Gardner gets two wheels out on the grass, but he manages to gather it up.
He was good at motocross too, wasn't he, before he went
You
to
can
the
do that on a motorbike when they're a little skinnier, but these cars do require a certain amount of room.
Just had 2-litre cars just being lapped there. That's 7 laps after the start, to give you some idea of how quickly the V8s are rounded up the 2-litre cars. Oh, Alan Jones gives more than a little tap.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
That was a savage one. That was Parnelli Jones type driving. One tap, and if you're not out of my way, you just get another one.
I don't think there was too much backing off in the Peter Jackson car. Now they're 3 wide as they come through the sweeper. 250 kilometres an hour. Wayne Gardner ducks down the inside of Alan Jones, and Thomas Mazera joins the battle up. So there's 3 of them locking brakes. This is incredible.
Alan Jones and Wayne Gardner.
Yes, he's not.
Oh, there goes
Jones.
Gardner.
He's giving Gardner a tap as well.
Well, I don't disagree with that one. I think Gardner was absolutely cheeky there, and Jones was showing style of what won his world championship for him. Real aggressive driving.
And I think he's.
If you want this track, take it from me. Is what
anyone who's raced against Alan Jones said he's a very tough customer, and he certainly showed it there within about half a kilometre of each other.
Okay, let's take our Mobile 1 race cam as we ride with Peter Brock. Watch the level of concentration as only Brocky can deliver.
Straight through, snap gears, no synchros in these gearboxes. They just go click, click. Sounds as if Peter's not using the clutch, but that's the way this gearbox is designed. Very, very durable.
Time for our Dunlop race cam now. And here's our cockpit shot of Dickie Johnson, car number 17. Dick doesn't appear to be as intense behind the wheel as you've noticed with Peter
Don't judge a book by its cover, please, Michael. He's working. He's thinking about what he's doing. Started wearing sunglasses when he went over to America. I think he thought that was the Richard Petty style, so it was good enough for him. He's got a dark road in front of him with those glasses on.
Well, there's the gap he's trying to close.
We've got big problems here. Just as we say that, smoke just started to billow from the back of Larry's car. It's pouring from the back wheel. Would you make a...
I wouldn't want to guess at that one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to guess at that one. Certainly wasn't a tire rubbing. John didn't touch him.
Just
he's got an onboard failure there somewhere.
Out of the turn. Final lap. Thomas Mazera has done a fabulous job running in second. Glenn Seaton unable to run with Mazera. Jones at this stage certainly has the pick of it in terms of horsepower. Really howling down through the sweeper.
Car looks good, nice and stable. Nice rake, Daytona rake as it's referred to, the slope towards the front. Just nice.
There's Thomas Mazera, runs in second. Third, of course, is Glenn Seaton. Next, of course, is Dick Johnson. Tony Longhurst coming up, and checkered flag time for AJ. He finally puts one together, comes across the line and takes the checkered flag. The winner of the opening race of round 2, the Shell Australian Championship over Thomas Mazera, and of course Glenn Seaton back in 3rd.
Great run from the Formula Champ. Let's have a look how they finished. Alan Jones, of course, first. Thomas Mazera in 2nd. Glenn Seaton held on to 3rd. Dick Johnson grabbed 4th. And Peter Brock managed to hang on to 5th.
After the last heat, let me tell you, there was plenty of dialogue going on between Alan Jones and Mark Scaife. We can't play the audio to you, but I'll tell you, it was pretty cherry. And Mark really telling Alan about what he did, and you watch out, pal, and I tell you what, that's the way it went. Plenty of revving going on, and we get them off to a good start. Jones and Mazera side by side, and Mazera wins the start, and it is going to be pretty tight as they come up to the first corner. Make no mistake about that. Mazera's got the jump. Moving up smartly here on the outside is Johnson. Can he stop? Yes, he can. And Glenn Seaton's up on the inside of Alan Jones. At the back of the field, there's Wayne Gardner trying to get through. They head down towards the sweeper for the first time, and it's Mazera, the race leader. But the traffic, just have a look at it.
Here the V8's bouncing off the rev limiters as they come up through this 250-kilometre-hour sweeper. John Bower looking fairly competitive as he moves up to the top 6 in these opening laps. And Alan, as you alluded to before with the HRT Commodore, those things are punching out plenty of black smoke. There's plenty of horsepower coming out of these cars.
They've reset the program, I think, for sure, because Alan Jones got a great start, but Mazera just powered by him and launched himself into first spot there into the first corner. Jones aggressive on his back bumper bar already, as is everybody else in the field.
And we go inside Peter Brock's Commodore VP with Mobile 1 race cam, working back through the gears as he swings into this very tough left-hander. Mark Scaife has already disposed of him, as we saw on the back straight.
Sitting right behind Brocky, and we'll see whether he mounts an attack at this stage. Will be Wayne Gardner in the Holden Racing Team Commodore. Now, Brocky started well, was inside the top 10 for this second race, but there's a few hot shots have got by him so far, and he's got another one sitting on his tail trying to make ground as well. Brocky checking out the mirror.
Glenn Seaton in big trouble here with the Peter Jackson Falcon. He slowed dramatically. We saw a puff of smoke from the car. You'd have to guess what that was as the field streams past. You'll see Seaton, there he is, off to the right-hand side as the field picks him up. That's a great disappointment for Seaton. As
Crompton now carrying our GIO race cam, has Jimmy Richards sitting in behind him. They come beneath the start-finishing line. That's how close they go to the guardrail there, up on the inside to the left-hander at Brambles hairpin.
These rear view pictures just show how dramatically drivers can get. Oh, look at that. Oh, almost. Oh, definitely
yes.
Touching. Can't call that almost touching.
And keep in mind, too, that both Larry's car and Neil's car are Holden V8 powered. As the Chev car, oh, he's going to hold on to him. This is hard under brakes. He's got the line. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And here's Scaife trying to get under Richards at the same time.
There's a little bit of impact there as Richards tries to get back on the racing line through that tight left-hander.
They head off. There goes Longhurst and the BMW as they come up for one more shot here at Perkins. Now Crompton's caught himself wide here, and Richards is up on the inside of him.
Oh, Larry's had a big lock up there. And
Neil, he was as polite as he could, and Jim was as polite as he could. I think Neil allowed that door to be open just for a fraction of a second, and Jim said, "Thank you very much, Neil, I'll take it."
We'll keep an eye on Gardner here. What's this? Crompton's keeping Scaife down the inside. Gardner straight down the outside. Knew that wouldn't happen.
Oh, look at Scaife's car screwing under brakes. Richards. Oh, it's so tight. Crompton gets caught in the Winfield sandwich. His spoilers come loose.
Now Crompton starts to move up just a touch. Wayne Gardner was much closer a lap or so back. He moves up on Crompton's tail now.
Keep in mind there's 4 cars ahead of this incredible battle. Still Thomas Mazera leading the... Oh, and Larry's gone offline.
Yeah, start of the lockup, and with a lockup like that, he'll go wide.
Squeeze Gardner.
Steers off the track, and that's all that Jim needed. Just a momentary lapse there, and it can't do that. If your brakes lock up, you lose control.
That's done Wayne Gardner no favours. Brock moves up on the tail of his car in the Mobile 1 VP Commodore.
You can't ignore the performances of the 1,050 kilo BMWs there, hanging onto the back of the V8s on what is a power circuit. So the gap from first to second, Thomas Mazera to Alan Jones, is 1.38 seconds, and the gap from second to third, 5.6 seconds, the 2 Shell Falcons. So,
and Gardner says, hang on, how can this happen? And And this is back from Peter Brock's race cam. That's Longhurst behind him. Let's go back to Longhurst. That's what the view looks from the other side.
Oh,
yeah.
As he
closed dramatically.
Oh, there's a bit of...
something flew.
A few more broken parts falling off Larry's Commodore.
Well, Longhurst is up there on the inside, and he's trying to get behind Brock and squash Larry out. And look at Paul Morris coming on now in the Diet Coke BMW. They're coming up on John Smith, this group. Whoosh.
Larry threads the needle. Boy, oh boy.
There's Tony now with the outside run. He'll bring her in tight, flow through that left-hander.
Paul Morris will get maybe to the inside as they exit this turn. So Paul's pretty close there in the Diet Coke BMW. And the pressure is mounting on Thomas. And the man mounting the pressure would be very comfortable at this stage. They're coming up to the Bramble Shipping hairpin turn. Here comes Jones. Moment of truth for Thomas Mazzera. Jones through.
Oh, he gets it sideways.
Careful.
He's got
A calculated risk. He pulled it off. Well, a very nicely paced race throughout the day. Bearing in mind they had to judge their tires to do this, Mike. It's not a lay-down Mazzera. There's Glenn Seaton looking at his teammate, a very happy boy as well, genuinely enthused about Ellen's run.
Well, if he can't win today, this man should. Last turn, Glenn Seaton's happy. So are all the Ford fans, because it's checkered flag time for our ex-Formula One champion, Alan Jones. He gets across the line. Here's Thomas Mazzera in for second. Dickie Johnson will take third on the run to the flag. Who will get fourth? It's John Bower, and fifth will be Jimmy Richards. Sixth, Mark Scaife. Let's recap those for you on the Shell race score. Alan Jones, the winner. Both heats here today at Symmons Plains. Thomas Mazzera in second spot, John Bower in third, Dick Johnson in fourth, and Jim Richards showing as fifth placeman.